Hey y'all, this is Mike with Raider Dog Ranch. Today we are going to be troubleshooting a propane problem at the RV. We are not getting gas, and I'm going to go through the process of troubleshooting that and isolating what the problem is. So let's get to it. I assume if you're watching this video you have an RV and you've run into some issue with your propane feeds. So that's what we're going to go through here. You may or may not already know, this is a standard RV setup. This is a 2-tank system. We have two 20-pound tanks here. And this system right here is the regulator, and this is a dual regulator system that can allow either system to provide gas. If you have this pointing straight down, it will take feeds from both or either. If you want to point to one or the other, you can. So if I want to know for sure that I'm using this tank, then I'll point to this one until it gets empty. That's the way I like to do it, to make sure I have a backup. And then when that one empties, I switch over, but I can go get this one refilled. So just a little tip there to keep you from running out. Because if you're running in this mode here, you never really know where you are on your levels. There are a lot of gauges and systems out there, but to the best of my knowledge, none of them are super reliable. None of the ones that I've seen or had friends that have used them have been super reliable to tell you how much propane is left in your tank. The best way I've ever noted is to just feel the weight of it and shake it. That's not very scientific, but it is what it is. So recently when we were using the RV, we noted that we could not get a fire on the stove. Obviously that is propane powered. There's a few things that run off gas in our RV. The propane, the furnace, and the water heater can all run off of propane. And we have a feed back here on the back side, like a lot of RVs have, for gas grills, like an outside gas grill setup right here. So this is a quick attach. If you bring your own grill, you can attach it back here and do a camp out. So one of the first things that I did to troubleshoot the problem was turning both of these off. I'm not an expert at this. I've read a lot about it recently because of this issue, so I wanted to share what I've learned. These have I guess an auto check valve. If you turn both of these off and release the pressure that's going into the regulator, it will reset the regulator if for some reason the pressure switch was tripped. So they say sometimes you can hear a little ping in there. So shut them off, leave them off for several minutes. And probably the best idea is to go to 1. So switch it to 1, turn that one on, and then go through your systems. There's really not a lot of complexity in propane systems. You go from the regulator here, you come out to a hose that I've already disconnected, this hose here. And that hose eventually runs under the RV, but it goes to a hard line starting here. So these are all, I don't know, steel, copper, brass, some kind of hard lines. And those run pretty much all over to the points that I just mentioned before. So the best way I could think to troubleshoot this was, first we started at the stove, and just to make sure we didn't trust the igniters. You could see the little spark on the igniters, but we used a lighter, turned all the burners on, and then went around to each one with the lighter. Nothing at all. You couldn't hear any gas, couldn't smell any gas, and that certainly didn't light. So then, to eliminate, well, maybe it's a stove problem, I went and turned on the water heater. Now, the water heater runs in our RV system under the sink, under the kitchen sink. So over here on this side, you have this system. This is the water heater. And what you should hear when you turn on the water heater system, there's a little pilot light that has to be lit here. And that's basically what it's doing, is boiling the water, running a heater under the water until it gets to a certain temperature, and then it shuts off. But the pilot light has to stay lit. And you can see this electrical system here, it's going to light it right in there, and you're going to see all of these little burners light up when it's going. So I tried that, and I could hear the igniter tick, 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 trying to start, but no change. So that's system number 2 that's not working. We're not getting gas to the water heater. And finally, we set the furnace to a temperature that it would want to come on. And I don't know a great number of ways to troubleshoot the furnace, but this is on the back side of the furnace where it exhausts the gas and the fumes. This was blowing air out of this bottom one. It never got warm on the outside or the inside, so that was the best troubleshooting I could do there. So my assumption is sort of validated by that troubleshooting that we're not getting gas anywhere throughout the rig. The last thing I did was I hooked up the grill, an outdoor grill, over on that back connector I showed you a few minutes ago, and same thing there, not getting any gas throughout. I mentioned these are pretty simple systems. There's really not much to them. The gas tank's here, goes through a regulator, goes into the system. This is almost the only failure point, as long as you know you have gas. But there's not a lot of great ways that I've found to troubleshoot these. I don't know if there's a way to, I don't know how you can test this. There's a little twisty thing here. I haven't read anything that says that does anything. There is a little bleeder valve under here that I guess would blow open, but I don't hear any gas coming out of that. So I don't know what else to do other than replace this and see if that fixes the problem. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing we're going to do is take it off of this system. We're going to take these lines off. I'm working one-handed, so I'm going to do that and then come back. So this is just a bolt that holds those down, little wings on it to help you manage it. This just sits on this bolt going down, and this needs to sit in these grooves. Let me get a better angle. These grooves on the tank. That's what's going to hold these tanks when you're traveling to keep them working as one unit. Okay. And then we're going to take off the tanks. Remember, you want to make sure your tanks are closed, although these days these tanks are pressure release. So this little piece right here, when it pushes into the propane tank is when it releases, so they actually won't bleed out like they used to. Okay, so here's what we have. And you can buy replacement systems with the regulator and the pigtails. I ended up buying just the regulator because I'm cheap. And there's nothing wrong with these hoses. That's where I ran into a problem that I want to share with you. This is kind of important before you order your parts. Okay, here's the old regulator. This is Camco, popular brand with RVs, especially entry-level RVs like we have. And here's the one that I ordered from the Jungle Store. Now, this one is, you might ask, Mike, why didn't you order the one just like that one? That's a good question. Usually, that's a guarantee that you're going to get the right part. However, my theory is most of the time manufacturers get the cheapest possible product they can, and when you're going to replace something, you ought to try upgrading it. So that's why I went with this Flame King. I think it's an ACR6 or something. I'll link it in the description below. But it still is a dual tank functioning, and it has this indicator down here to show if you're out of gas or not. So that's at least one more viewable indicator than I had before. But this is where I want to show how things got a little hairy. If you look closely, you're not going to be able to see this in detail. This is a 1/4 inch flange. They call it a 1/4 inch NPT fitting. Again, this is new to me. I learned this because of the problems that I had. And notice this new one has a fitting already on it, and it looks a little smaller. And actually, if you can see, the threads are finer. So these, I would call those a medium thread, and this is kind of a coarse thread. And if I take this pigtail here, that does not go in there. So I had to do a little research and figure out what was going on. So if you're watching this video and you got bored, now is the time to pay attention, because this is what's going to save you a little bit of time and effort in your ordering. When you order a propane regulator, you need to pay attention to the fittings that you have and the fittings on the new one. Both of these fittings, sort of the bigger, coarser inlet style fittings, are what they call NPT fittings. I'm not a pipe fitter, I'm not a plumber, I don't know anything about that, but this is a 3/8 inch. That seems to be pretty standard on both, 3/8 inch NPT. This is 1/4 inch NPT. These, with the little brass fittings on them and the longer, the finer threads and the longer neck, are SAE inverted flange. And if you look at them, I can't show them really too much side by side. It's about as close as I can get there. They are a different fitting and they will not fit. So even if you order, what I did was went back and ordered the pigtails that the Jungle Store recommended with this one. You know how they do the little, hey, if you get this and that, then you'll save yourself time and money. Well, they were wrong. I ordered those, and those were also NPT threads. In fact, I still have one right here that I need to take back. This is the same threads as what was on this guy, not what is on this guy. So I had to place 2 orders and return some products. Well, you can see I still need to return some products. But that's the main thing I want you guys to get out of this video, is that it's not obvious and there are different fittings. God forbid there should be one standard. I know sometimes new standards make things better, but I didn't see anything that told me as a novice replacing this stuff that would have been something to look out for. NPT versus inverted flare SAE. That's what you're looking for. All right, so now let's put it on and see if it works. So this is the box that I got, the new fittings, the proper fittings. Notice that these do have gauges on them. I mentioned before I don't think gauges are very reliable, so I'll use that with a little grain of salt. But notice these fittings are just a little bit different. Let's see if I can get the other one. Also, this order, I'll link these in the description too. These came with some gas-rated thread tape. I had already planned on using some pipe dope, some of the paste stuff, and so that's what I'll plan on using. But notice there, the bottom one is the NPT fitting, top one is SAE inverted flange. Obviously quite different. So here is the thread sealant that I'm going to use. Make sure you're always looking for getting the right product. This says it lubricates threaded connections on metal and plastics. Sorry, seals and lubricates. It's formulated for potable water, which I don't care about in this case, natural gas, and a wide variety of fluids and gases. So it does support natural gas. So that tells me that in my amateur view, propane should also be supported. I'm just looking for it to say it supports gas. If you are somewhat of an expert, first off, I don't know why you're watching my channel, because unless you're just looking for somebody to laugh at, because there's good material for that. But if you know more about this, comment down below. Let the rest of us know, educate us if you know more than I do, so that we can all learn together. All right, so I used a little brush, like that, a little disposable brush, to dope up these threads. And again, I am one-handed, so I'm gonna do that off camera and come back. Okay, sorry I couldn't bring you along for that, but 2 hands. We've got this, tighten that down with a pipe wrench. We have these 2, both tightened down with a wrench. I don't know, maybe I should read on the instructions how long it should take to let that putty sit. I don't know if it should dry or if it's good from the beginning. If I've got some, I'm gonna get a little soapy water in a spray bottle and spray it around looking for leaks. That's always a good test. We don't want to waste any out here, and we don't want to cause any fire. So that will be the next step. This only has 1 brace for the regulator. Not quite as secure as the other one, but I don't think that one, maybe that one would go on here. All right, so that's how we look. Okay, we're all back assembled now, and I opened the valve. You can see we are reading the valve. So, I probably should clarify it earlier. I don't think they're always bad. I think these valves or these readers seem to go bad pretty quickly. So they might be fairly reliable when you first get them set up. I did hear the propane feed in when I turned them on. I think this little window is clear right now. Can you see that? It was red before. So let's go and see if propane works now. All right, so moment of truth. I hear it. I hear the gas now. Woo!
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
There we go. Excellent. So troubleshooting told me that it probably was the regulator, but there was no way for me to tell for sure. So, you know, you just have to trust your troubleshooting and your basic knowledge of systems to say, what could it be? What's the most likely component? And sometimes you got to kind of take a leap of faith and buy a part and see if that works. Okay, I could not find a spray bottle, so I took a water bottle, pushed some dish detergent in it, and put a tiny hole in the top of it. So I would say it's not as good as a spray bottle, but it should do the same thing. You should see little bubbles if there are leaks. It's gonna be harder to get it. Oh, I do have a leak in the bottom. Let me see. Let me get the camera. Right there. See that? So I need to get that tighter. Okay. Tighten that up, and I do not see any more bubbles. So we should be good. So there you go. How to troubleshoot and replace a dual tank propane regulator. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Leave some comments in the comment section below if you have anything else that you want to add. Or thanks all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.